Look around you, the sprawling suburbs, the flickering neon of the city, and the steady hum of a country that never sleeps. For decades, we have been fed a very specific version of the American dream. Work hard, play by the rules, and eventually, the system will take care of you. We were told that a gold watch and a steady pension were the finish line for a race well run. But if you look at the data, that finish line has been moved. Most Americans today are living a quiet lie, fueled by the hope that things will just work out in the end. However, in the world of finance, hope is not a strategy, it is a liability. Right now, as you watch this, the economic landscape is shifting beneath your feet. The cost of living is climbing at a rate that outpaces traditional raises. Social security remains a giant question mark for the next generation, and the gold watch retirement is effectively dead. The safety nets our grandparents relied on have been replaced by a do-it-yourself financial era. But here is the truth that the headlines won't tell you. Being a millionaire after age 60 is not a lottery win. It is not reserved for the elite, the lucky, or those born into old money. It is a fundamental math problem. And today, I'm going to give you every single variable you need to solve it. Why the $1 million floor? Over the next few minutes, we are going to deconstruct the exact blueprint to hitting a seven-figure net worth, even if you are starting much later than you originally planned. We are moving past the surface-level advice to cover the deep psychology of wealth, the specific investment vehicles that actually work, the tax hacks that keep your money in your pocket, and the real-world stories of everyday people who built empires from scratch. But first, we have to address the why. Why is $1 million the target? In today's economy, $1 million is no longer the hallmark of the ultra-wealthy. It is the new baseline for basic security. It is the floor, not the ceiling. We will break down the 4% rule and explain why your future independence depends on that specific comma in your bank account. This isn't just about luxury. It's about the power to say no to a job you hate and yes to the life you've earned. Stick with me, because we're about to turn your curiosity into a concrete plan of action. If you want to understand how a regular salary transforms into a seven-figure empire, you must first master the mechanics of compound interest. Albert Einstein famously called this phenomenon the eighth wonder of the world, noting that those who understand it earn it, while those who don't are destined to pay it. At its core, compounding is the process where your earnings begin to generate their own earnings. It is not just about the money you put in, it is about the mathematical momentum that builds over time. Imagine a small snowball at the top of a mountain. Initially, the growth is slow and almost imperceptible. But as it rolls, it picks up more surface area, and by the time it reaches the base, it has become an unstoppable force. This is the exact trajectory of a well-managed retirement account. We need to move beyond the get-rich-quick mentality and embrace the get-wealthy-surely reality. For example, if you contribute $500 a month into a diversified portfolio with an average 7% annual return, you aren't just saving $6,000 a year. You are planting seeds that, over 40 years, blossom into over $1.2 million. For those starting later, perhaps at age 40, the math changes, but the goal remains attainable. You don't need a miracle, you simply need a bigger shovel. By ramping up your contributions and narrowing your focus, you can still leverage the final decades of growth to hit that seven-figure milestone by age 65. Remember the three pillars: savings rate, time, and yield. To truly control your financial destiny, you must understand the three pillars of wealth: your savings rate, your time horizon, and your investment yield. In this equation, you only have absolute control over two of these variables. While you cannot control the daily whims of the stock market's yield, you have total authority over how much you save and how long you stay invested. This brings us to the concept of the gap. The gap is the space between what you earn and what you spend. Wealth is not built in the earnings, it is built in the retention. Most people increase their spending as their income rises, a trap known as lifestyle inflation that keeps them tethered to a desk indefinitely. By widening the gap and aggressively funneling that surplus into income-producing assets, you are essentially buying back your future hours. This section is about shifting your identity from a consumer to an owner, ensuring that every dollar you earn becomes a soldier fighting for your eventual freedom. While the math of compounding provides the engine for your wealth, the tax code provides the fuel. In the United States, Uncle Sam typically takes a cut of everything you earn, but when it comes to retirement, he actually offers a rare set of keys to the vault. Understanding the distinction between traditional and Roth accounts is the difference between retiring with $1 million and retiring with $1 million after taxes. A traditional 401k or IRA allows you to contribute pre-tax dollars, lowering your taxable income today, but you will owe the government their share when you withdraw the funds decades later. Conversely, the Roth IRA is a masterpiece of financial engineering. You pay taxes on the money now, but every penny of growth and every cent of the final balance is yours to keep, tax-free forever. For the average American worker, the employer match is the closest thing to a free lunch you will ever find. If your company offers a 3% or 5% match, that is an immediate, guaranteed 100% return on your investment before the market even moves. Leaving that money on the table is the equivalent of throwing a stack of $100 bills into a paper shredder every single pay period. We are going to look at how to optimize these accounts to ensure that you aren't just building a pile of cash, but a fortress protected from future tax hikes. Most people mistakenly view the Health Savings Account, or HSA, as a simple debit card for doctor visits and prescriptions. In reality, it is the most potent retirement tool in the entire American financial system. It is the only account that offers a triple tax advantage. Your contributions are tax deductible, the growth inside the account is tax-free, and your withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are also tax-free. As you age, healthcare will likely be your largest expense. By treating your HSA as a long-term investment vehicle rather than a short-term spending account, you are effectively creating a secondary, tax-exempt retirement fund. If you can afford to pay for current medical bills out of pocket and let the HSA funds remain invested in low-cost index funds, the compounding effect becomes astronomical. By the time you reach age 65, you can use those funds for anything, though they remain most powerful when used for health costs. This is the secret weapon of the wealthy that is available to anyone with a high-deductible health plan. Mastering these vehicles ensures that you are playing the game with the wind at your back, rather than fighting a constant uphill battle against the IRS. To truly grasp the accessibility of the seven-figure milestone, we must look beyond the boardroom and into the lives of ordinary citizens who mastered the art of consistency. Consider the story of Ronald Reed, a man who spent his life working as a gas station attendant and a janitor in rural Vermont. By all outward appearances, Ronald lived a modest, quiet life. Yet upon his passing at the age of 92, he left behind a fortune of over $8 million. He did not achieve this through a high-tech startup or a lucky inheritance. He achieved it through the relentless application of the principles we have discussed. Ronald understood that wealth is not a function of what you earn, but what you keep and how you grow it. He lived significantly below his means, driving an older vehicle and wearing a denim jacket until it was threadbare, while funneling every spare cent into boring, blue-chip stocks. He didn't chase the latest market fads or panic during economic downturns. Instead, he bought shares in companies that provided everyday essentials and held them for over half a century. His life serves as a definitive proof of concept. If a janitor can build an $8 million empire through patience and dividends, the $1 million retirement is well within the reach of any American willing to trade temporary status for permanent freedom. Case study: the late bloomer. Of course, many watching this may feel that time is no longer on their side, but the story of the late bloomer proves that the final sprint is just as critical as the start. Take the example of Sarah, a woman who found herself starting over at age 45 following a difficult divorce and a bank balance of nearly zero. She didn't have 40 years to wait, so she shifted her strategy into high gear. Sarah utilized the IRS catch-up contributions, which allow Americans over 50 to contribute extra thousands into their 401k and IRA accounts. She radically downsized her living expenses, moved into a smaller apartment, and committed to a rigorous 30% savings rate. By investing aggressively in low-cost total market index funds and refusing to let lifestyle creep steal her progress, she managed to accumulate $1.1 million by age 67. Her journey demonstrates that while starting early is ideal, starting late is not a death sentence. It simply requires a higher level of intensity and a refusal to accept the too late narrative. Whether you are 25 or 55, these real-world examples prove that the American dream is still very much alive for those who have the discipline to claim it. As we reach the conclusion of this blueprint, we must confront the most dangerous predator in your financial journey, the person staring back at you in the mirror. The greatest threat to a seven-figure retirement isn't a market crash or a political shift. It is the phenomenon known as lifestyle creep. This is the subtle, almost invisible process where your expenses rise in perfect lockstep with your income. When you get that hard-earned promotion or that annual bonus, the temptation is to upgrade the car, move to a larger zip code, or dine at more expensive tables. We have been conditioned by a consumer culture that equates success with spending. But true wealth is precisely what you do not see. It is the cars not purchased, the designer labels ignored, and the luxury upgrades deferred in favor of long-term autonomy. To reach the million-dollar finish line, you must develop a psychological firewall against the urge to keep up with the Joneses. Remember, the Joneses are likely broke and drowning in high-interest debt just to maintain a facade of prosperity. If your cost of living grows as fast as your paycheck, you will remain a high-income worker who is essentially living paycheck to paycheck, regardless of how many zeros are on your stub. To be a millionaire after 60, you must value your future freedom more than the fleeting new car smell or the social validation of an expensive watch. We are building a legacy, not a costume. By automating your savings and treating every raise as a tool for investment rather than a license for consumption, you ensure that your wealth compounds while your stress levels diminish. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now. You have sat through these 2 hours because you know that you are capable of more than just surviving. You are ready to thrive. This information is useless if it remains theoretical. It only becomes powerful when it is paired with immediate, decisive action. Don't let this be just another video that fades into the background of your digital life. Go to the description, download the wealth tracker, and commit to a specific percentage of your income today. Whether you are opening your first Roth IRA or maximizing your catch-up contributions, the most important step is the one you take before the sun sets. Your 60-year-old self is waiting at the end of this journey, and they are counting on you to make the right choice today. The path to $1 million starts with a single, disciplined dollar. Now, go out there and claim the future you deserve. Reaching the $1 million milestone is a monumental achievement, but the journey does not end at the summit. You must also learn how to navigate the descent. Stewardship is the art of protecting what you have spent decades building, ensuring that your nest egg lasts as long as you do. One of the most critical concepts for any retiree is the sequence of returns risk. This refers to the danger of the market dropping significantly in the first few years of your retirement. If you are forced to sell shares when the market is down to fund your lifestyle, you permanently deplete your portfolio's ability to recover. This is why the final years of your working life must involve a strategic shift from pure growth to a more balanced bucket strategy. By keeping 2 to 3 years of cash or liquid assets in a high-yield savings account, you create a buffer that allows you to leave your invested millions untouched during a downturn. This tactical patience is what separates those who stay millionaires from those who outlive their money. We must also revisit the 4% rule, which suggests that withdrawing a modest percentage of your portfolio annually allows for inflation adjustments while keeping the principal intact. In this stage, your role shifts from an aggressive accumulator to a vigilant curator of your own wealth. You are no longer just working for money. Your money is now working full-time for you, providing the dividend checks and capital gains that fund your hobbies, your travel, and your peace of mind. Ultimately, the goal of becoming a millionaire after 60 is not about the numbers on a screen. It is about the radical autonomy those numbers provide. Wealth is merely a tool that allows you to live a life aligned with your deepest values. For some, it means the ability to volunteer without financial worry, while for others, it means being the grandparent who can fund a grandchild's education or provide a down payment on a first home. As you cross the seven-figure threshold, you must ask yourself what kind of legacy you wish to leave behind for the next generation of Americans. True prosperity is the ability to influence the future, whether through charitable giving, supporting local businesses, or simply being a pillar of stability for your family. You have broken the cycle of financial anxiety and replaced it with a foundation of strength. By following this 2-hour blueprint, you have moved from a place of uncertainty to a position of power. The American dream is not a gift. It is a prize that is won through discipline, literacy, and time. You now have the map, the tools, and the motivation to finish strong. The road to $1 million is open. It is time for you to take the first step toward your golden years.